Reggie here, your fellow neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I know, on the Ready, Set, Go preview show this last Sunday, I basically said that I had no live streams planned for this week yet. This is, I think, my second or third live stream of the week. So we are breaking all the rules over here. We are having some fun, and I want to thank you guys for being part of the journey that we are on. So this video is a little bit of I think, an anticipated video. A lot of people have been commenting on the various posts that I've been putting up on the community tab for a couple of weeks now, where I've been talking about this commission that I was getting made by a young college student, and a lot of people were commenting on it, asking questions about him, about the commission itself, asking questions about the prints that we have decided to make available. And I am pleased to say that the commission is done, and I'll show it to you in just a second. And we are down the road of making prints available. In the first, we did it in a little bit of a phased approach. I think that's the better way to kind of look at this thing. We first released the first couple of prints to Patreon members because we weren't quite sure of our shipping methods, and so we wanted to do it with Patreon members first, just in case something went wrong, right? Because Patreon members they're fans, right? They're fans of the channel, and they're like, hey, this is messed up, but it's okay. So we wanted to release the first couple of prints to some friendly people that would be very forgiving if mistakes were made, And now that we've gotten past that, I wanted to open the doors up a little bit wider, because I know that there were additional people that have, expressed some interest and desire in having a print or two of this fantastic commission. And so I want to do that, but I'm also still going to do it in a little bit of a phased approach, just because I want to make sure that as we continue to release these things, that they still arrive where they're supposed to arrive, safely and undamaged, right? So that's the goal. And to make sure that people are like satisfied with what's being done. So we want to try to take a smart approach to all of this stuff. So I'm going to show you the commission. I'll talk a little bit about the artist. I'll show you the print. I'll tell you about the pricing. I'll tell you about all that stuff in just a couple of seconds. I see people are starting to flow here into the room, so I wanted to say hello to a couple of people here first. Clay is in the house. How you doing? Ghost Host Memories is here. Lewis is here. Mushir, I think I'm saying that correct. Mushir is here. He says, let's see how long he can stay around this time. It's all good, brother. H-Town Comics is in the house. It's good to see you. Friendly Neighborhood Luke, how you doing, brother? It is definitely good to see all of you guys. I don't know how to say this name. Phakeday. So I'm gonna just call you Day, so I don't jack it up. Day, it is good to see you. Thierry, it is good to see you. Thierry says he needs that guy's info, so let me just go ahead and do that right now. So the very talented artist that I've been working with on this print he's an awesome guy, college student, and that's what really makes it awesome, is that he's a young guy. And he's a really talented guy. That's what's really cool. So his name is Charlie Miller. And a lot of people have been asking, what is his name? What is his name? Charlie Miller is his name, and he goes by C.Bird Studios. It is actually in the description of this video. He is on Instagram at c.bird_studios. And it is in the description. Charlie Miller is a super talented dude that actually met me at the Berkeley Comic-Con. He stands next to me as I'm flipping through some Spider-Man books, and he's like, you're a YouTuber, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm here at this con because I saw one of your videos on this con. And so I didn't know who he was at the time, but I thanked him for watching the video and all that kind of stuff. And then later that night, I think either he messaged me or something happened or he maybe liked a post that I put up on Instagram, something. So I go to the dude's his stream on Instagram, and I'm like, oh, this dude's an artist. And I'm looking through, and I'm like, oh, this dude is a talented artist. And I'm like, oh, this dude is a talented artist who reminds me of Jack Kirby. And I was like, let me send this dude a message. So I ended up sending him a message. Long story short, we had a fantastic conversation about doing a commission. And because he has a Kirby-esque style, I decided to have him do something that was a Kirby piece, and that's essentially what we try to create. So let me show you this piece. Let me show you this thing. It is. I can't even remember the dimensions on this thing. I can't remember the dimensions. It is big. Let's just say it's big. This is the print that Charlie Miller, I'm sorry, the commission that Charlie Miller did for me. This thing is massive and it is gorgeous. This is a regular backing board. So you can see, that's my kids writing on the back. You can see how big this thing is in relation to a regular comic book backing board. It is a massive piece and it is gorgeous. So we started talking about this thing and we started talking about what characters we want and stuff like that. And he kind of expressed that he liked the old school Iron Man. And I'm like, cool, I've got no problem with, old school Iron Man. So let's go ahead and put him in there. And I'm like, well, let's throw some Galactus in there. Let's throw some Silver Surfer because that made sense because it's Kirby style, right? And we were like, well, let's do another character. Who do we want? I like Adam Warlock. I like Adam. So what we did is I was like, let's do an old school Adam to kind of match your old school Iron Man. And so I went back to some of the early issues of Adam Warlock, some of the earlier issues, where they had the stutter step, and so I sent him a couple of photos of it. And 30 minutes later, this dude sending me sketches. He's sending me sketches of the way that the commission could be done. I think in 30 minutes, he sent me 3 different, completely different variations of these 4 characters. And it was kind of like this deliberation of like, which one do you go with? Which one do you go with? And I landed on this one because I just thought it was fantastic. But in the 3 that he mocked up, there were no losers. Like there was no wrong way to go. It was like, do you want, good, or good? That was really the option. And I really, really dig this one. I see John's Comics with Kids here. He says, reminding you of Kirby is high praise for sure. And he says that it is a stunning piece. It is indeed. And this was really a collaboration between a very talented artist and me. I have very little to do with it, to be honest with you. I mean, this dude put pen to paper, ink to paper, and he crushed it, man. He really did crush it. And it is a fantastic piece that I am really excited about. And throughout the process, he kind of kept me updated. He would send me sketches. Do you like this? Do you like that? Do you want me to move them? Do you want me to move them around? And we were making some adjustments based upon like personal preference and his artistic talent. And it turned out quite nicely. I'm actually very impressed. And we have already started to talk about another project later on down the road. So Ghost Host Memory says, which kid is your favorite? Brother, I love all my kids. Oh man, you can't pick a kid. You can't pick a kid. Yeah, so here I'm trying to make sure. Lewis says cool artwork. He did. Reggie is sharing a piece of original art from a community member. Yeah. So the brother, the dentist, man. I don't know. I hate going to the dentist. It was fine. It was fine. It's one of those topics, the dentist is one of those topics that I just dread talking about. What is this? Yeah, context about the 3 proofs. Yeah, so that was the thing is Charlie knocked out 3 different compositions for the piece, and I took like a day. Like I knew which one I wanted, but I still took like a day to kind of make sure that's what I wanted. And I posted it up for Patreon members to give me input. I posted it on the community tab for you guys to kind of tell me a little bit about it. Don't be greedy, Reg. Let us get a turn. Yeah, his information is there. It is C.Bird Studios. Charlie Miller is his name. C.Bird_Studios is his name on Instagram. And like I said, he and I have already started to have some conversations about a second version of a second project that we're going to do, because it was really a great collaboration. And so we've already sold 5 prints to Patreon members. and very pleased that they all arrived safely. We sent some all kind of across the country, and then we also went into Canada for one Patreon member. It was expensive shipping. Let me tell you, it was not cheap. But thankfully, every single print that we sent out arrived safely, and every single recipient was pleased with how it showed up, which I think is really great. If you're going to buy something, you want people to, if you're going to sell something, you want people to be happy about it, and the people that pick these things up were very happy about that, which makes me happy. And that's why we're now going to offer it up. I have enough packing supplies for 7 more. I have enough packing supplies for 7 more. And it's really this balance of finding the right type of cardboard material that is sturdy yet lightweight. And I thankfully had this, my wife bought us this massive umbrella for the backyard, and it was like the right type of material and the right type of cardboard. So I have enough material left over from that massive box that I cut down for 7 more. And so let me show you guys this thing. So this is the commission. This is the commission. And then here is the print. And I want to say the print is 11 by 14. I think that's what it is. You can see it's actually a pretty nice size print. And we are on print number 5 right now. Again, Patreon members picked up 1 through 5, but we are on print right now 5. And we're going to hopefully be able to sell out all of what we've printed so that we can move on to the second project, because we have a second one that we are talking about, still very, very early stages of it. But it was so much fun to do this first one that I want to do another, So so we only printed 20 of these. We're only doing 20 prints. And after that, we are done. All of the prints are individually numbered and signed by Charlie Miller, or C.Bird Studios. And once we finish the 20, we are done. So we basically have 15 more that we are making available to people. And the cost is only $25. $25 for a print. And that includes shipping. And what we're basically doing is shipping them out flat, sandwiched between 2 pieces of cardboard in a waterproof mailer. Actually, it took me 2 days to find the proper size mailer that would actually work with the print. And that was like part of the delay, is I had to get the commission in. I had to get all of the prints in, and then I had to think through, okay, how am I going to package these things up and do it in an affordable manner where things won't get damaged, blah, 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 blah. And so that's where we are. We have 15 prints left. They are $25, and that includes shipping. And just to be fully transparent, the way that it works is that 50% of the money goes to Charlie, and 50% goes to me. That's basically the way that we've done it. And I'm basically charging enough to recoup the cost for my commission. So I'm not really making anything, but it's a fun project to do. This is cool to do. Charlie is the real winner because super talented guy, gets a lot of, I think, recognition for his talent, and he walks away with a nice chunk of money, which I think is really cool because, you try to support the community, and this is a really talented dude. And so I asked him, I said, Charlie, are you going to go into the comics? You trying to be a professional artist? And he's like, no, I'm going to go into animation. I'm like, you might need to go into comics. Oh man. So if you guys are wow, Eric says dentists have a high suicide rate. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. I did not know that. My dentist, Ron is actually a really good guy. He and his staff follow my fitness page, so we have a really good relationship. He's a really good dentist, takes good care of me and the wife. So I don't wish suicide on anybody. But thankfully, Ron seems to be a well balanced and adjusted individual. And yes, he's surrounded by really, really great people. So if you guys collect those 6s here, Party Time Comics is in the house. Joa got one of these prints. Joe, what'd you get? 2 or 3? I can't remember which number you got. Eric says Reggie should start a comic book called The Dentist, the Horror. Oh, you're a nut. Clay says he prefers to go to the dentist over any of, bro, I don't like any doctors. And I actually work with doctors. I don't like any doctors or dentists. I don't like it. I don't like people poking around in my mouth or touching other stuff. I don't dig any of it. But I go to the doctor, I go to the dentist, I do, the eye doctor, do all of my appointments. My wife, well, let me restate. So my wife makes sure I go to all my appointments. Oh man. So if you guys are indeed interested in picking up one of these wonderful prints from C.Bird, send me an email to reggiecollects@gmail.com. I have enough for 7 more. Anything outside of that, there'll be a little bit of a waiting list. And my goal is going to be to try to find the packing material for the next round as quickly as possible. But right now, today, I can send out 7 additional copies of this thing. Send me an email to reggiecollects@gmail.com. And then I can give you the particulars. It is basically going to be $25 to friends and family. I'll give you the email address to send it to, and I will get these things turned back around relatively quickly. You'll get your tracking number. And what I'm doing is I'm actually sending them via first class mail. So they arrive relatively quick. Ideally, I want everybody to be in the US. If you are outside the US, like Canada, I'm telling you, shipping is expensive. We ship to Ajax, Ajax, Canada, I think. And even with our 85% discount, it was $30. So the person paid for the print, and then it was $30 on top of that. And that's a lot. So my recommendation is that you be in the US, because that's probably going to be a more cost-effective means through which to pick up one of these prints. But if you are outside the US and you want one, let's talk about it. Send me an email and we can talk through it. It's expensive. So, and when we do that, we actually send those via FedEx because we have a discount. So we go that route. So one of the cool things is for the next one, what I've been trying to talk to Charlie about is I want to do a couple of different versions. So I want to do a commission, and then I want to do prints. But with the prints, I actually want to do remarks on them. I thought that would be kind of cool, right? So we might only do 20 more prints, and of the 20, we're going to do remarks on 10 of them. And when I say we, I mean Charlie is going to do not me, but like 10 of them would have like an original remark. And so I thought that might be, again, another just cool thing to do. And so much of this, man, is just about having fun. That's why they're priced the way that they are, because it's just about having some fun, And I'll tell you, I am having some discussions now with possibly doing something similar with a professional artist, a professional Marvel artist. We are looking at it. And so this, to some degree or another, is a step towards maybe doing something really cool down the line. You guys know I think in terms of story arcs. So this is like part 1 of the story. Um, so, uh, so, what I'll say is that we are charging $25 per print. That includes $5 for shipping, and 50% of the money goes back to me, and that basically recoups my cost that was spent. So if someone wants to do the math on that, they can figure it out. But as you guys know, I'm not a huge fan of talking about money. So there you go. So here, Victor is saying Reggie would be nice. A print art Spider-Man in black suit versus, yeah. And here's the thing, man, is that I think the sky is the limit with this guy, because I think he's super talented, and I think anything would be possible. And for me, what I wanted to do was I wanted to not do Spider-Man. That's part of the reason why I did not pick him, was because everybody knows me that I'm into Spider-Man, but I wanted to do something different. Like I have multiple Spidey pieces back here that people have sent me or that I've purchased, but I wanted to do something different. And I think that this piece is very different. And at the time I was thinking a lot about cosmic characters, so it worked out really, really nicely. But a Spider-Man Batman, that might actually be dope. That might actually be pretty dope, you know. Um, I'd have to think about that one, because that could be cool, and it would appeal, I think, to both DC and Marvel fans, because that's a good idea. Hawaiian Punch in your face says Gibbon Express Delivery. Here's the thing, I'm gonna be honest. I debated the Gibbon. I literally debated the Gibbon, and this was at like the height of like the Gibbon talk. And I was like, should I do the Gibbon? It's like that might actually be kind of cool. But I decided against the Gibbon. I decided, especially after reading Amazing Spider-Man 18.hu, I was like, ooh, maybe we don't do the Gibbon. Oh man. So Eric is asking about the YouTube live streams. I don't know, brother. I don't know if there's something going on with YouTube. I think my feed looks pretty clear right now based upon what I'm actually seeing on my side. According to Comcast, again, I have blazing fast speed, and no one should have any problem seeing me. But as you guys know, that isn't always the case. But right now, it looks to be pretty crystal clear. So who knows? So friendly neighborhood Luke is on the board. He said he sent one over to me already. So definitely I will address that, Luke. I definitely appreciate that, brother. I will reply back to you just as soon as this live stream wraps up. What about a print of Amazing Spider-Man and the Gibbon? Felix says, the thing is again, I debated it. But I didn't want it to be a joke, right? I wanted to, I'm a big fan of having some fun, but I didn't want it to be a joke. The Gibbon isn't really a popular character, And then I was debating, like, man, maybe I should do like a Gibbon T-shirt. I was like, man, we do a Gibbon T-shirt. That might be kind of dope, And then I moved away from that one though. Moon Knight versus Batman. I don't know, bro. I'm not a Moon Knight fan. I did read his first appearance and it was actually pretty slick. But, the thing is, if I do it, I want it to be something that I really enjoy because it's going to be here in my room or in a portfolio or something like that. And I'm not really a Moon Knight fan per se. I like Batman, but I'm not really a Moon Knight fan. So I don't know. I'd have to think more about that. Lewis says, without a doubt, he'd buy that Gibbon without hesitation. Oh man, Aaron, brother, come on. Let's come on. You fade. Collecto says I'm fading in and out, brother. Are you blinking? Is it when you blink? Is that when I fade in and out? Yeah. So down the street right now, it appears that Comcast is actually doing some work to actually, I think, bring fiber optic to the neighborhood. So we shall see what happens with that. The feeds are what the feeds are. I do the best that I can with what I have available to me. But hopefully, if this fiber optic comes in and the prices make sense and the speeds and all that kind of stuff and reliability are where they should be, then maybe we'll step our game up a little bit. Lewis says Gibbon is no joke. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Justice League versus the X-Men. Oh, check that out. I have never read a Justice League book, so never read it. Daredevil surrounded by enemies, kicking butt. So I hear that Daredevil now has the power of, who is that guy with the Bifrost? One of the Asgardians. So I'm not reading War of Realms, but I guess Daredevil has taken up a pretty prominent role up there. So, yeah, somebody, Felix says he buy that T-shirt, bro. T-shirts, unfortunately, T-shirts are tough to not lose money on. It is a little tough. So Aaron, definitely, if you have some questions about bags and boards and all that kind of stuff, I think 3 or 4 videos on the channel that actually talk about bags and boards and the options and my preferences and stuff like that. So you may want to check that out because there's a ton of great information, not just about bags and boards, but just a ton of great information about just about everything on the channel. So take a look around. If you're unable to find something, don't hesitate to reach out to me because I'll absolutely help you as best I can. No, the Gibbon's never going to make it into the MCU. Technically, he's dead. Spoiler alert, the Gibbon has left the building in Amazing Spider-Man 18.HU. The Gibbon is no longer with us. Moment of silence. Oh, you guys are hilarious. Collecto says I never blink. Oh, Gibbon versus Squirrel Girl. Ooh. Or maybe we throw in some Moon Knight. No, not Moon Knight. What is it? Devil Girl and Moon Knight. What is that thing? What is that? I can't even think of the name of that book. But Devil Girl and I don't know. Forget about it. The moment has passed. It has passed us. Yeah, I've actually talked a little bit about this, or maybe I have a video coming out that'll talk about this. Eric is asking whether I'm strictly an Amazing Spider-Man fan. So I am a fan of Spider-Man, right? I am a fan of Spider-Man. And whatever Spider-Man is in is going to capture my attention. So I have an entire short box of Web of Spider-Man, a box of Peter Parker Spectacular Spider-Man, a box of Spidey, a box of regular Spider-Man from the 90s. If Spider-Man is in it, I'm on it, right? But when it comes to a book that I want to complete a run of. There is no other Spider-Man book with the level of historical significance than Amazing Spider-Man. When you look at it in totality, if you look at the talented artists that have worked on that title, the first appearances, second appearances, the pivotal moments in Marvel history, et cetera, a lot of those things happen not in Web of Spider-Man, but in the pages of Amazing Spider-Man. And that's part of the reason why I am really focused on that. But I am a Spider-Man fan through and through. When I was younger, most of what I used to buy, probably 90% of what I used to buy was actually Web of Spider-Man, because that's what I had access to. And it worked, and I read it and I loved it, and I still love it. Have a couple of the number ones and all that other kind of stuff. So very good question, Eric. And I think I have a video that talks about that might be coming out sometime soon. Can't remember what it's called, but I think it's coming out soon. So definitely stay tuned to that. All right, so I think I'm going to get myself out of here. Here we go. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Thank you, Webhead. I appreciate that. So who is this? Collecto6 is asking, which Spidey era is your favorite? And then favorite artist. It's tough. It's tough. And I say that because I really like the old Spider-Man stuff. Amazing Spider-Man is all fantastic. The early Scorpion battles, the Vulture battles, the Doc Ock, the Gibbon, all of those early Amazing Spider-Man books, I really, really enjoy. The artwork wasn't always the best, right? Depending upon who was drawing it, you could have Peter looking one way versus another, because they were still trying to figure out how to render him, how to draw him. Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, and all of the other casting characters, they would kind of change depending upon who was drawing them, right? Like over time, if you go from like issue 1 through, they kind of changed. I think I like John Romita Sr.'s artwork better than Ditko's work, just generally speaking. And then I think if you think about the nostalgia of my own childhood, I would say that the Mark Bagley era was one of my favorite eras, maybe followed by Eric Larson after that. But that's like nostalgia. That's when I grew up, was loving the way that Mark Bagley actually rendered Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I love the way he drew it. So I don't know if that answers the question in like a succinct way, but that is kind of the way that I would kind of explain it. So a couple of people throwing out some options here for how we might be able to do the next version of the sketch. Yeah, so the thing is that we are probably going to do it again. The goal again is to sell out of this one. That way it'll allow me to recoup what was spent actually on this commission, and then we'll do another, and we'll probably do something like what I've done in the past, which is to post up a comment and ask people to weigh in, right? Because at the end of the day, I want people to be part of the stuff that we do here, whether it be a commission or whether it be a video. I want input from you guys, so definitely stay tuned to that. And hopefully we'll be able to figure out what that next commission is going to be. More to come. We still have a bunch of stuff to package up and send out of here before we get there, but it could go quickly. We'll see how it goes, but I'm gonna no love for the looter. All right, so let's show this thing one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and get myself out of here because I just heard the family coming. The family was at the dentist while I was at the dentist. So this is a commission piece that I actually had created for me by a guy by the name of Charlie Miller. He goes by C.Bird _studios on Instagram. He and I collaborated on this amazing commission here. It is a large piece, and you can see here versus a regular backing board just how large this thing is. So he ended up creating this for me. He and I tag teamed to actually put together a print. He actually made the prints. And here's one of the prints. We did 20 individual copies of the print. All of them are signed and numbered down at the bottom. And we are making these prints available to folks that are interested. They are $25, which includes shipping in the United States. So if someone is interested in picking up one of these fantastic prints, there's awful glare. Sorry about that. You can reach out to me at regiecollects@gmail.com, and I can provide you all the information you need about it. Ideally, the goal is to move these prints and then to start working on like a part two. I have a couple of ideas already. A couple of people made some fantastic suggestions here. So fingerprints. All right. So I'm going to get myself out of here. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. We have a ton of videos that have been released this week already. And then I have a couple of more videos that are going to be released for the rest of this week, probably around 3:30. So if you guys get a chance, make sure you check out those videos that have already been posted, or if you've already seen those, stay tuned for the rest of the videos that are going to be coming out a little bit later today, and then of course tomorrow. And then you guys know we do a giveaway through Go Collect every single week, and we announce the winner of that on the Ready Set Go preview show that happens at 7:30 on Sunday night. So if you've entered the contest, make sure that you tune in to find out if you are a big winner. All right. If you guys need to reach me, feel free to do so at Regie Collects on Instagram or regiecollects@gmail.com. Thanks a lot. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me a little bit on this Thursday. Yeah, let's go with that.